Manchester United 2, Leeds 0. The first game of pre-season is done and dusted with a good win. I'm joined by Stephen Howson. It's nice to beat Leeds, isn't it? Even if it's pre-season, it still feels quite nice.
Yeah, it's something that you want to have in your day, I reckon.
Yeah, I think we should do it every day. What we should do is we should play Leeds at 11 a.m. every day, get the win out of the way, and it just picks you up for the rest of the day. Just obviously, it's a pre-season game. We saw 22 players out there. Quickly, did anyone stand out for you in particular that you thought deserved attention? Because there was a lot going on, and I'll get some more details afterwards. But who stood out for you?
Yeah, I think Emran's obviously going to come off the pitch, got a goal and assist. I think he's going to be making sure the manager's well aware of that. I think Alvaro Fernandez had a really solid game. I think Ahmad is probably going to send the link of the match to Anthony afterwards and be like, maybe watch that, see what you're supposed to do. Mount I thought was very good. None of them did anything I wasn't expecting, though. So the one that I'm apart from Emran, I didn't expect that. So the one that surprised me the most, and I think that's the one worth talking about the most, is Mainoo. I thought Mainoo in the six, I knew he had tenacity, I knew he had technical ability, but what maturity that performance was. Like, so calm, so assured. It was just like someone had put Casemiro on another ball. Holy shit, like, he's taking the ball under pressure, brilliant awareness to move the ball to the right space, to receive it and get a pass off under pressure, then move to somewhere else, receive it off someone else, keep the ball moving at somebody else, and not just passing it backwards. He was breaking lines with it. He was taking it out of danger. Like, just like the sort of performance where I was sitting there going, this is class. Like, go on, son. Love it.
Yeah, it just looked good, didn't it? Good composure and his dribbling and, like I said, his touch and the ability to see men coming in and go, let the ball go across his body and stuff. Just really composed performance. Second half then, obviously, is where the goals started happening. They brought on players and seemingly more first-team players. Bamford, Dan James, Luke Ayling came on. United switched it for entirely kids. That's when we get the 2 goals. Like you said, Emran with the first one. Nice finish. Keeper maybe could have done slightly better to the left to the right of his foot, but good little finish, wasn't it? And at that point, are you thinking we need to go on and push on, or is it just keep doing what you're doing? It's about getting fitness in. Like, it must be hard not to get giddy at that stage. It's
minutes. I'm sure Emran's buzzing, and I'm sure everyone in his family's delighted for him. And everyone who knows him has coached him. Was delighted for him to see him do that. Same with Hugo. Really well taken ball. So pleased for both of them. But pre-season's about minutes. Pre-season's about a couple of things, actually. It's about minutes, but it's also, if you're a peripheral fringe player like this, like, it's about making the manager notice you and make a decision on you. Because he can make a decision that actually, like, there got to be nothing worse than that. I mean, I guess him thinking you're proper shit is a bad place to be in. But, like, there's nothing worse, I imagine, as a youth player where the manager just goes, who? Yeah. Like, who is he? I would rather, like, you go, yeah, do you know what? I'm not sure on him. Let's send him out on loan. Or actually, no, like, he's really impressed me and maybe we see him a bit more. I thought Hannibal looked really good. Probably going to get brushed over his performance. I thought he looked really, really solid. Ahmad again looked really solid. If you're looking at what happened in the second half, I think the tempo went out of the game. And that's weird because Leeds brought on more of their first team. We had youngsters that generally bring like a level of like tenacity when they play, but I thought United's tempo when our first team players went off, and it did feel like a training game in the second half, despite that would being the only half that had goals in. I thought United had a lot more sharpness to them, and it was a lot more of a real football match in the first 45.
Yeah, it was an interesting, if you look at the first 45, some of the shapes United were taking up, and firstly, Tom Heaton coming out to the halfway line to clear the ball. I wonder if he's been told to just act like Onana. Get him used to a keeper coming out. That was a bit mad, wasn't it?
I wonder if it's been a case of, like, he's been watching De Gea stay in his box the entire season, and I bet he's been saying, I won't do that, mate. I'll be right out there, mate. I'll be right out there. And then the first opportunity, he's had to go and, like, back himself, hasn't he? And steaming straight out. It.
Yeah, I love that. But also there's points where we would have the ball and we were pressing really high, and I thought we Mount won the ball back a couple of times, I think, and Diallo as well, and Wan-Bissaka won it almost on the 18-yard box.
The kids did well with it second half as well.
Yeah, but there's points where the shape was almost like sort of 4-2-4, where we'd have our defence up there. Then it was just Hannibal and Mainoo. But then you had, and forgive me, I'm forgetting the guys, the left winger who played. But then you had him. Yeah, that was it. You had him, you had Mount, you had Sancho and Diallo, all as a sort of a row of four as that attacking line. Do you think that's something that we'll look at next season, or do you think it was just we haven't really got a striker here, this is the best we can do?
Well, yeah, I think it's a little bit to do with that, that we didn't really have a lot of forwards. Seeing Sancho in like that false nine kind of position, don't think he had a great game in there, to be honest. I think it was much of a making do. What we did see, though, and I thought was interesting, press aside, was that we were building up in like a bit of a 3-1-6. We were definitely trying to evolve how we build out from the back and how we build up once we get it into that first phase. So that was interesting to see. But it's pre-season. I think a lot of it's just about getting a bit of sharpness back today. And a lot of it's just about getting the rhythm back and, all right, what foot does he like it to? Mount be working with the likes of Sancho and Ahmad, and finding out, do you want to come at feet to it? Where do you want me on the pitch? Do you want me to start putting it in behind the fullback for you? No, I like it to feet. Which foot? Left foot, right foot. All right, I got you. Fucking hell, this is annoying, isn't it? Earthquake season round here in Sandbach. So yeah, I think we're not doing it now. I think it's all about starting to put those sorts of learnings in place and figuring out a little bit more about your teammates and that. I think that's what it's all about.
Definitely, and there's plenty more of that to come. We've got a week gap now until the next one. Then it's like the tour games. The tour begins proper in America. We'll be there, of course. Thank you for joining us, You keep falling over, collapsing. The earthquake is going on there, so we'll let you go. But thank you for joining us. Hit subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Manchester United 2, Leeds 0. Pre-season starts with a win, and we'll see you in a bit.